What's good, everybody? What's good? It's your boy, Cardinal Bud Crawford, or E.S. Red, if that's what you want to call me. Alright, y'all, so we back for another one. Man, the heat is gone for at least a day and a half, man, and I'm loving it. Alright, y'all, today's topic is the art of war. Terence Crawford is holding up ShowTime PBC and the Errol Spence super fight. Not anymore. Alright, y'all, so what do I mean by that? What I mean by he is holding up not only the super fight, but he's holding up ShowTime, he's holding up PBC, and he's holding up the super fight. Well, basically some news came out. I believe ShowTime dropped some information regarding their upcoming fight schedule, and as well as that, or their upcoming program schedule for upcoming fights. Not only that, PBC has is wanting to drop their fight schedule for the remainder of the year, which means they are no longer willing to wait and to carry out the negotiating process with Terence Bud Crawford. And to me, that means whatever deal that's on the table at this point is more than likely what Terence Crawford's either going to have to accept or reject. He's only got two choices at this point. I don't think they're going to come off any more money to make the fight happen. They're not trying to give him any more wiggle room. They're not trying to allow him to stall this process out any more. Now, the one thing I will give Terence Crawford about this whole process is he has stuck to his guns. You know, whether he actually wins this little negotiating battle, he stuck to his guns. He said, I wanted more money. He said, I wanted this, that, and the third. We don't know exactly what he wants other than money, but we do know he wanted some more money. But I'm pretty sure those were not the only demands that he was trying to get met in the negotiating process. But unfortunately for him, it's just a matter of you waiting and stalling too long. We've offered you something. I'm pretty sure it's a lucrative deal. There's no way he's not going to make money off of this fight. There's no way he's not going to gain financial prosperity off of this fight. It's going to be a big fight as far as gate goes. It's going to be a big fight as far as pay-per-view goes. Maybe not huge, might not hit 1 million sales, but this fight could potentially do 500,000 buys. Potentially. Now, I don't think that they're going to get there. I think the most they probably do on pay-per-view is probably like 350, but it has the potential to hit a 500,000 buy pay-per-view block if people are really willing to invest in this fight. There's a lot going on in the world, and it would at this point, I think Terence Crawford is smart for dragging it out a little bit because there is so much going on in the world. And, you know, if they would have did it 3 or 4 or 5 months ago, people were in such a financial pinch, not as many people might not have purchased the fight as they would maybe now, even though, you know, the gas, you know, it's a lot going on in the world. People are feeling the pinch still, but, there's a little relief coming thanks to the Fed and what they just did. So, you know, holding the fight out might not have gotten him the purse split that he wanted, but it might have picked the fight up a few more pay-per-view buys because the pinch has come off of, you know, the boxing public just a little bit. Not enough, if you ask me. Nowhere near enough. but a little bit of the pinch is starting to come off. So people might be more willing to actually purchase this fight. Now, you know, the crazy thing about boxing is sometimes the best fight is not even the fight that happens in the ring. Sometimes the negotiating process is an even better fight than what's actually taking place within the boxing ring. And I think this negotiating process has been one for the record books, if you ask me. The fact that it is carried on this long, and that, you know, I don't know if it's built up new fanfare in people, but it's definitely brought all the Errol Spence and Terence Crawford fans and people who want to report on it. It's brought everybody to the forefront, and, you know, it's given everybody something to talk about up until now, and it's brought a lot of fanfare to the fight. But I'm not sure if that fanfare is enough, like I said, to push it towards 1 million pay-per-view buys. It's going to be a big fight, though. Listen, you know, ShowTime PBC, you know, you got to commend them for even negotiating with Terence Crawford for so long. They could have just been like, you know what, we got other fights we could put on. We got Keith Thurman still in the bag. We got the Charlo. We got all these fights that we could put on basically in-house. We don't even have to do this with you. But they realize how big this is to the sport, and if they can actually pull it off, it could possibly revitalize the sport, and, you know, bring a few more fans who had become MMA fans back to the sport, and, you know, just make all around boxing fans very happy, and hopefully make them willing to invest, especially if the fight is good, willing to invest in more PBC events in the future, you know. And that's really what these fights do, man, is they bring new fans back in. They make they're measuring sticks for, are people willing to invest their money into boxing still, or is boxing just a dying off sport, a sport that's going away here pretty soon? And it could possibly be going away here pretty soon. You know, it could die off very quickly. You know, Canelo just got beat. You know, Canelo's fans are butt hurt. You know, everybody everybody you tend to want to hang your hat on as a superstar boxer and the greatest boxers of the day, normally they end up letting you down in some kind of way. They either don't fight the people you think that they should be fighting, or they don't the fights that you do want to see, they usually happen so much later on within their careers that you kind of like lackluster. You're like, man, I don't even care about these guys anymore. And that it's always over money. It's always over money, and it shouldn't be that way. Boxing should be just as big or even bigger than MMA, because boxing had such a big head start in the game. And it's going to be sad if what actually comes from this is that Terence Crawford turns them down and doesn't actually sign off on the fight, and then we have to wait another year, maybe year and a half, because there's potential that, you know, if he doesn't sign off on this, Spence goes in another direction. Maybe he goes and fights Pacquiao or Charlo or whoever. This fight is not going to happen. If either one of those guys take a fight that is not against each other now, you know, at this point in the year, it's going to drag this thing out in months into 2023, you know, because they're going to have to take a break after their next fight. It's going to be off for 3, you know, you got like 6, I think about 4 or 5 more months in this year, 6 months left in this year. You know, let's just say they sign off to fight somebody else 2 months from now. Well, that's going to drag this fight, of course, into 2023 and beyond. Maybe not even until May of 2023 before they can even think about putting the fight back on again. So, depending on how Terence Crawford reacts to this next process of them saying, hey, you either gotta sign or go away. You either have to sign or we don't want to deal with you anymore at this point. We'll readdress this in the beginning of 2023, and try to make something happen then. Because, oh boy, if he doesn't if he doesn't sign that contract, it's going to open up a bag of worms. And it's the art of war at the end of the day. Terence Crawford is trying to play hardball to get more money. They're trying to play hardball to get Terence Crawford into the boxing ring so they can get this over with. They're confident in that guy. Terence Crawford's confident in himself and winning, so I guess he feels like stalling it out doesn't really matter. Even though I think the longer it goes, the less in his favor it's probably going to play out. The less likely he is to win that fight, because the longer he stalls, the more they're going to try to stack the deck against him. And unless Errol Spence gets beat by somebody and loses a belt, and somehow Terence Crawford ends up with that belt, then there's no way he's ever going to get the A side to this fight, and there's no way he's ever going to get exactly what he wants. So it's just going to be a never-ending process of negotiation. Let me know what y'all think about that. But it is war to this. Terence Crawford's playing hardball. He's playing war, and he's obviously trying to prove something or gain something or something. Let me know what y'all think about that. Hit the like button for me. Please subscribe. Tell a friend. Share. Holler at me on all the social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube's. More than likely you get a response on YouTube than any other rest of them. It's your boy, Cardinal Bud Crawford, and I think we are out of here. We're out of here. Ain't no room for no new friends. My patience too thin.